If you guys are new here, I'm a narcissist. And I'm on this channel to provide awareness, growth, healing, change, and development. I try to be able to put out content that helps people understand narcissistic personality disorder, that helps you understand what's going on with the shit that's inside. Of how a narcissist thinks, of how a narcissist doesn't care about you, of how a narcissist is all about themselves, their ego, all the entitlement, all the pieces there, and the piece that traps you that a lot of times you don't hear about, the trauma bond, to be able to understand it from the opposite perspective of seeing how you actually break free. Are you struggling being in a toxic relationship? Maybe you're with someone today that you're like, I don't know if this person is toxic or not. I don't know if this person is a narcissist or not. So many times people ask the question, is my partner narcissistic? But oftentimes it's not for the reason you think. Oftentimes people are wondering if their partner is narcissistic for the sole purpose of, if they are, then I can leave. If they are, then I can actually move forward. When in reality, that's not the case. The reality is you have to be able to look at the people that are in your life that are toxic and that are treating you in a toxic way and understand until you actually change the version of the story that you're believing, nothing will change. I had a call earlier today with another person that was going through some issues and was going through some things and wondering, like, how do I actually change? How do I actually develop myself? And sometimes I have to get like really pointed and really like blunt with people to say, like, hey, until you actually change, until you actually do the work, nothing is going to change. We live in a society where we want fast food healing. I normally describe that as you want it quick, fast, and easy, hot and fresh. Like you want it to be something that, like, hey, I'm better quickly. We all want this. Like we all want to get healed as fast as possible. But the problem is a lot of times people are looking at trying to get healed as fast as possible. And as a result, they don't get healed at all. Like they're not able to actually engage with the true type of healing because they're looking for it so fast, so quick, and they're just running after it. Like, I want to get fixed. I want to get back to the version that I used to be. I want to get back to the person I used to be. Now, the tough reality is you have to understand is the person that you used to be no longer exists. The version of you that used to be no longer exists. That is a tough reality for a lot of people to hear. A lot of people don't want to know that. A lot of people don't want to understand that the version of you that was with the toxic person no longer exists. You've lost a lot of your innocence, a lot of the mentality that thought that this was going to be a good relationship. You've lost that. But what you have to understand is instead of just focusing on losing it, you actually are going to gain something if you start doing the work. You start putting in the work required to actually change the person that you are today. Do all nurses come back after they move away? A lot of times they do, and you want to prepare for that and plan for that. Plan for them to come back, and like don't be surprised if they do. A lot of times they'll still come back after you. Why do narcissistic people tell you you are the narcissist in a relationship? It's called projection. Okay, think of it like when you have a projector and you put the image up on a wall, that's what the narcissist is doing. They're taking the image that's inside them and saying, hey, you're the narcissist. Do you ever get accused of cheating when you weren't cheating? A lot of times that's a self-confession from a narcissist. You're cheating on me, aren't you? When in reality, you never were cheating, but they were. And they wanted to put it on you. They wanted to switch around and make you feel like you were the crazy one. I planned a baby with my ex and 51, 5.5 months pregnant. He came home and broke up with me. He just admitted yesterday that he's talking to someone from work. I'm so hurt. He kicked me out, changed the locks. I slept in my car. I'm leaving my sister now. Will he try to come back after the baby is born? Why did he leave? At the end of the day, I don't know exactly why he left, but we know that he doesn't care. That's the hard reality. I know that's not easy to hear, but we know that he doesn't care. There is an aspect that he might come back because the kid is going to be leveraged to actually be able to get with you, interact with you, not because he wants to be with you, but maybe because he wants to look like a better dad to other society, other supplies. Okay. I would say don't have any interaction with them. Continue moving forward. If on the birth certificate, then at that point, all you have to do is fight a custody battle. If he brings it up, typically they don't. Okay. I'm planning on moving as soon as I'm able. Even if he does come back, he won't be able to find me. Perfect. That's awesome. Are a lot of narcissists alcoholics or doing hard drugs? Mine is doing both. And does that affect the discard, repeat, and hoover? So a lot of narcissists do end up being addicts. Okay. Not all of them, and not all addicts are narcissists. Okay. But a lot of times we see that propensity because of this like feeling and this aspect of being like addicted to something. There's more like prone to addiction. And so when you're like looking at stuff of like, how do I actually help them? If they can't get free of the addiction, there's no point in even bringing up narcissism. You're never going to get anywhere. A lot of times it does come together a lot of times. Did I change for someone else? Excellent question. No. And the reason why is if a narcissist changes for another person, it will never work. If you're in a relationship and the narcissist is changing for you, it's not going to work. I can promise you that. Because eventually you'll do something that'll bring you down off of whatever pedestal they tried to create for a moment, and then you're bad. Husband tried getting a reaction today by getting me a birthday card to his wife. And that's do narcissists really fall in love? Narcissists fall in love with the infatuation idea, more of like the high, like these like feelings. Okay. It's not necessarily like true love because they're not making a choice. Think of it this way: if love is actually this aspect of making a choice to put someone else's needs above your own, narcissists refuses to do that time and time and time again. But they'll keep looking for a high. They'll keep looking for a hit off of another person. I don't find this, so I'll go find someone else. Like that's the whole aspect of it. My narcissistic husband and I are separated and yet divorced. Ask me if I'm talking to another man. Does that mean he's already talking to someone else? I would say odds of that happening is really high. Will change for the other person be short lived? Yes, 100%. Okay. Is the next person be treated worse or better, and why? And the hard thing with this is it could be both. Okay, and the reason why it could be both is it will look better to everybody else, and it might even be better for a short period of time. But the manipulation is still there, and if the person hasn't changed with honesty, vulnerability, and consistent change, if there's not something there changing the narcissist, which typically there is not, because they probably already got with that person even before they left you. There's this aspect that they go into it, and that typically ends up being worse. Now it can look different. And you have to understand, wait a second, I'm looking at it and he seems nice, all these things, when reality, it's not. But you're seeing the love coming from a different side. So you have to keep that in mind. Okay. Before I forget, before we get off here, I've got an Instagram and TikTok. I've got the link in the bio for the Clarity Challenge. Okay, we're running a Clarity Challenge. We run it every month. Like this is an aspect of being able to help you break free from the trauma bond and the rumination. People that go through it and invest their time into it break free of the trauma bond and the rumination every single time. I haven't seen someone come through the Clarity Challenge that has not engaged with all the lessons, done the assignments, that's got to the place of saying, I didn't get anything, or I didn't get healed, or I didn't get fixed from the trauma bond. People that go through Clarity Challenge find themselves every single time. It's incredible. Like the team has worked really well on putting together a lot of curriculum and a lot of like step-by-step process to get you free. You can get that in the link in the bio. Are narcissists people cheaters? It seems like it's a pattern. Yes, narcissists are cheaters. Period. That's the easiest way to be able to explain it. Mine even lies to a therapist just to get validation from them. A lot of times we see that. Just because they're going to therapy doesn't mean they're getting better, doesn't mean they're getting healed. You need to see consistent, demonstrated change. Okay? I'm going to end on this. I went to EMDR therapy for 6 months. Then I was in talk therapy for about 5 months, 4 or 5 months. Then my wife left. Now you need to understand, because a narcissist gets into therapy doesn't mean that they're actually changing. You have to see demonstration. You have to see a step-by-step process moving forward of actually seeing change. And they have to change for themselves. Not for you, not for the relationship, or anything else. Okay? If you want to break the trauma bond and get rid of the rumination, click the link in the bio, claritychallenge.net. For a couple of those of you asking about the 7-day challenge, that's housed at escapetoxicity.com. Okay. For everybody else, you can click the link in the bio if you want to start down that process. Escape Toxicity is a great course to be able to start getting the foundation, but it is the precursor to the Clarity Challenge to be able to step forward. If you're at the place where you're like, hey, I just want to figure out, you're like, you're a narcissist, so I'm not sure if I want to listen to you. If you're like, I just want to figure this out, go to escapetoxicity.com. Start off there and kind of move forward from there.